Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thanks very much for joining me for this week's Friday Sews video, which is where I'll talk about what I have been sewing, what I will be sewing and a little bit of life as well. So as always, a huge thank you to Jen from Today in Jen Sewing Room for setting up that wonderful hashtag. I love Fridays on YouTube. I get to catch up with everybody of what they've been doing that week. I just love it and I love making these videos and I hope you enjoy watching them. So how was the week? The week here in Dublin was just marvellous. The weather has been glorious and everybody is in so much better spirits. I've had a washing on the line every single day. It's just been magnificent. Everybody is just in great spirits. My boys are loving it. They get to wear shorts, they get to play in the garden all the time. It's just been a really nice week. I've been doing an awful lot of knitting in the sunshine when the boys are playing, which has been really nice. I'm knitting woolen socks, which is completely seasonally inappropriate, but thank goodness they're only small and it's not like I have a massive blanket on my lap. But more about that later. So I have been doing my knitting. So I've got it now in my lovely Studio 77 boxy pouch that I made last week as part of Emma's challenge. I've got my little stitch markers here from Ethel Joan, which I just love. I think they're so cute. And here is my knitting. So I am doing the Brenda's Basic Toe Up Socks and I'm doing them 2 at a time, which I love. I do knit them inside out. I think that might upset some people, but it's easier for me to see the rib. So it's a 3x1 rib. You can see that's the inside of it. So I've got pretty far actually. I'm quite happy with them. So here's what they're going to look like. It's this beautiful opal wool that I bought in Olga's craft shop down in Cork a few weeks ago. And it's giving a really nice texture. So when they're being worn, they'll look like that. I have made a few mistakes. I'm not going to lie, and they're very obvious on this side. You cannot, I would challenge you to see them on this side, but serious knitters out there, would you rip back and fix that one stitch or would you just leave it? Answers on a postcard. But yes, I'm very happy. So I'm about ½ an inch away from doing the heel, which, yeah, starting the heel, which is really exciting. So more on that as it happens. But yeah, loving these, doing them 2 at a time, which is just a complete game changer. I have my lovely friend Cindy to thank for that. And myself and Cindy had the most lovely phone call this week and we got to show each other our finished Christmas socks, which is lovely. And she is just the font of all knowledge. She is so knowledgeable and so kind. And I just love our chats. We were talking for hours. It was absolutely wonderful. So thank you very much, Cindy. So that was my knitting. I've been doing an awful lot of baking this week as well. So I made some lovely brown bread last week. It was really nice. It's a Rachel Allen recipe. I'll link it if I can find it below. I have all her cookbooks. So I'll link that below. It was really nice. What else happened in the sewing room? Well, not sewing, but crochet. So if you've been watching me last week, I noticed that the Sirdar Summer Picnic Crochet Along had come out. So I bought the kit straight away from Vibes and Scribes in Cork and I ordered it last Thursday and it arrived on Saturday. Super excited. And it came in a huge big bag. Here it is, which looks really exciting. And it's chock-a-block full of beautiful coloured wool. I think there's 14. I think I might have said on Instagram there's 15 bolts. There's only 14. Pity I can't count to 14. So they are beautiful. I'll pop in a picture of what the finished blanket is going to look like here. So that is starting on Wednesday, which is the 7th of May, I believe. I think it's the 7th of May. I'll double check that. So I think it's starting next week and I'm super excited. So I put a shout out on Instagram if anybody would like to join a little group I formed over on Instagram. So it's basically an encouraging group. If anybody has any questions along the process as well. So there's a few people in the group so far, but if you would like to join, please drop me a note below or message me over on Instagram. It's probably the easiest thing to do, and I'll be happy to add you to that group. Yeah, we've had some lovely chats there. There are some extremely experienced people in that group. They've made the most beautiful things. There are utter beginners in the group. So hopefully we'll chivvy everybody along. I think it's going to be about 6 weeks maybe where the classes or the tutorials will be released weekly. So I'm really looking forward to that crocheting blanket. As I say, is it seasonally appropriate if it's a summer blanket? But knitting it, crocheting it in the sunshine would be really nice. So I'm super excited to get that going. So that's really exciting. So moving from knitting to crochet to patchwork. So I had a lovely day last Sunday. A little group of us went up to the Crafty studio. You know, I've mentioned that several times. We're making a memory blanket in memory of a sewing friend we lost last year, Alfredo. So I'll pop in one little picture here. We were doing friendship star blocks, which was just lovely. And we had a really lovely day just chatting and quilting and patchworking. And it was very nice. I think we have 1 or 2 more sessions left to go before we have the 2 pieced tops done, but I'll keep you updated on that. But it was just a lovely, lovely way to spend the day in the company of lovely sewing people. So that was what I got up to at the weekend. Also, very excitingly, close to me, the range has opened, which is very exciting. We haven't had one local to me before. So I went in for a quick look, and it's now going to be dangerous because you can buy all sorts of cutting tools, you can buy wool, you can buy craft supplies. So my older boy is going to love it. They have all the old stuff in there. So it's all the garden furniture and power tools and tiles and dog food, all that kind of stuff. But they have fat quarters. So if ever we need anything DIY, I think I might nominate myself to go and get it. So I picked up 2 packs of fat quarters because it would be rude not to. Oh, I also picked up a pack of 6 Pritt sticks, which is really, really nice, because I'm a PDF sticker. So I got this pack first, which is adorable. So it's got little parrots, toucans, but this is why I bought it. I mean, really, isn't that just gorgeous? So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, but I just think the leaves and everything are beautiful. So they'd be very, very handy to have in my little fat quarter stash. And then I also thought this one was very, very cute. This is on sale for Valentine's Day, but it's adorable. So it's got little love hearts, if you're familiar with those little sweeties. And then this one is heart, and then it's got different hearts and pinks. So these would be perfect now for Valentine's Day next year, which is really, really nice. So that was a fun little trip out. I just went for a little recce, but you'd have to come out with something, wouldn't you? So that basically was my week. What else came into my sewing room? No, nothing. I think that was about it. So what have I been doing sewing wise? Well, I wanted to make summer pajamas out of a beautiful Indian block print that I got from Rainbow Fabrics. So you can use my code Rachel VIP to get 20% off Rainbow Fabrics, and that is an affiliate link. So thank you very much. So I mentioned last week that I wanted to make these summer pajamas, and it's out of the free pattern. It's the assembly line pajama pattern. I want to love this pattern, but I don't think it loves me. So I made these pajamas last year in a kind of a seersuckery striped fabric that I bought from Beyond the Pink Door. And I made the top and the shorts. So it just comes with the shorts and a kind of grown on sleeve, which is fine. So I made a medium for the top, and I think I made a medium for the shorts, which was a huge mistake. So the medium top fits-ish. The medium shorts, way too small. I did put in the pockets, but I ended up taking out the pockets to see if they fit me. They don't. So this year I said, right, I'm just going to size up and see what happens. So I made the top in a large. I might have mentioned on my channel before making the high cuff sweater from the assembly line. There's actually a very big gap between each of the sizes. You know, sometimes you'd have, say, small, medium, large, and there wouldn't be that much of a grading difference. There seems to be quite a big difference in the assembly line between their sizes. So I made the large, and it's got a very, very wide neck, and it's quite now oversized. But it's pajamas, it's quite nice, but I think just lesson learned. I'll definitely narrow the neckline in future, but it's nice drapey fabric and all that is fine. So following on from my medium disaster of the shorts, the last time I decided, look, we'll go to an extra large. So now they're quite roomy, but they're very, very comfortable. So I need to go back and kind of tweak that pattern and see, can I make it work better for me? But it's a very, very easy pattern, very straightforward pattern. It's free. It does have facings for the top. I always use binding. The other thing I will say is that, yes, so when I was making them, well, I show you rather than keep talking about them in a kind of a theoretical manner. So this is the top. So you can see this fabric is just fabulous. And I did mention last week that it reminded me of Bar, and I think a few of you lovely people remember that from your childhood as well. So as I mentioned, I bound the neckline, which you can see is quite wide. I had this Specky seamstress binding. I think it was in one of their, you know, offcuts or kind of seconds boxes and stuff. So the sewing machines are a bit wonky donkey, but for pajamas, it's absolutely perfect. So I bound on the neckline, which I think looks really nice because, you know, I don't like a facing. So this is a top, which I think is really nice. So this is in a large, and I think I reduced the length of it by 1 inch. And I think I did take a little bit off the sleeves as well, but it's very, very pretty and I really like it. Then the shorts are these ones, which are very, very cute as well. So I did the elastic casing like they asked, but then I do my usual wavy top stitching along the top, which I think keeps the waistband nice and secure, and it's just a little bit more interesting than the 2 lines. I didn't add the pockets. And here are my little shorts. So hopefully by the time this goes out, I'll have popped in a picture here. Hopefully. So these are my lovely pajamas. I had wanted to make longer pajamas because these are very, very lightweight. I thought I'd be fine with full length pajama trousers as opposed to shorts. However, Indian block print cotton fabric is super narrow. I mean, super narrow. So basically when I was cutting out the top on the fold, I got this out of the fabric. Just about, so you can see how narrow it was. So I got 3 meters, so any chance of me making long trousers went out the window, and I don't like 3/4 length trousers. So if I want long, I want long, and if I want short, I want short. Same with my sleeves. So 3/4 sleeves, 3/4 trousers doesn't do it for me. So I did my shorts, which worked out quite well, and then I was left with a little bit of fabric, and I thought, well, I've got this beautiful fabric, I don't want to just put it in my kind of scraps bin where I'll kind of just look at it for years and years and years to come, and I wanted to fulfill its destiny, and I don't have any of this beautiful fabric left over. So I basically just kept making stuff until I used up all the fabric. So the first thing I made was, because I want to be a little bit extra, I made a pajama case. So if I travel, and you know the way you make things, I don't know about you, but when I make things, I kind of have in my head where I'm going to wear them and what I'm going to be doing, total fantasy Rachel type stuff. So because these are summer pajamas, I know I want to wear them when we go on summer holidays in August. So we're just staying in Ireland. It's nowhere warm and sunny, but it's still going to be hopefully a little bit warm. And I have visions of myself wearing these pajamas down in the holiday home, and I just think it'd be really, really nice. Not my holiday home, I should say. We're renting one. It's my aspiration to have a holiday home somewhere, but that's for later in life. Anyway, I digress. I thought, wouldn't it be lovely if I was traveling and I'd have a little pajama bag? So I just self-drafted this. It's basically 4 rectangles, and then I sewed up the sides, left a little channel. So it's fully lined, very, very nicely, used up a bit more of the fabric, and then it closes like this. And my lovely friend Anna, who's just so lovely, she recently gave me a little bit of ribbon. So she gave me 4 little bits of ribbon. Actually, I'll grab that now in a minute as well. But look how beautifully this goes. So it's all kind of cactuses, and I think that was really, really cute. So I think that's lovely. So actually I have them here to show you. So she got me that cactus ribbon, and then she also got me little octopus ribbon, which is adorable. And then this one, which is kind of sea creatures. So this one says, what's it say? Yeah. Oh, little fishies and stuff, and it's all little fish themes ones, which are adorable. And then this one is apples and cherries, which is going to be very cute for So Fruity. So thank you, Anna, for those little ribbons. They're adorable, and they match perfectly for my pajama bag. So that's the first thing I made, to use up a little bit more of that fabric. Then I thought, what else can I make? So I decided to make scrunchies. So I love making scrunchies, and here they both are. I made 2 of them. My lovely, lovely friend Sam, Sola Sparkle, has just put out a fabulous tutorial on how to make a scrunchie. I will link it below. Genius. She uses the burrito method, which is, in my opinion, the only way to make a scrunchie. So that wasn't, I don't think that was invented in the 80s and 90s when I was sewing scrunchies, sadly. So here are my little elephant scrunchies, which are adorable. I have really cheap and nasty elastic, so I actually put 2 rounds of elastic in them to make them hold any bit of this. So that was my scrunchies. The next thing fell on the floor. Then I thought, the whole nighttime theme, so I made a little face mask. So this is the free pattern from Tilly the Buttons. It's called the Fifi face mask. Eye mask? Sorry, not face mask, eye mask. So here's my little elephant. It's got a little bit of batting inside, and then the back is a little bit of elastic, so you pop it over. But then, speaking of my lovely friend Anna, she said, oh, but you have to put silk on the inside. It's like, right, do I have any silk knocking around the place? I did. When I went shopping with her last year, I bought a load of scarves, and this is actually silk, so it is beautiful. So it's silk on the inside to protect the old eyes, and then it's elephants on the outside. Excuse me. So I thought this was very, very cute. It goes with the whole nighttime theme. And then I thought, well, where will I put my scrunchies and my hair bubbles and my eye mask? And I decided to make up this. And that was the end of the fabric. So this is a relatively new pattern by my lovely, lovely friend Adam from Adam Sews, and it's called his Pouchy Pots. And they come in 3 sizes. This is the mini, the tiniest one, and it's a really, really cute construction. So you've got an outer, then you've got a lining which flaps over, which is why my elephants are upside down the inside, but I wanted them the right way on this bit. And then it's got a lovely base, which I just did a little cross quilting on. And it's very, very cute. And I've got these in here because in my house the borrowers rob all my hair bubbles. So this is my little pouchy pot, which I think is adorable. It's a really, really cute pattern. I'll link Adam's website and his link to this below. It's really, really cute. So this is the mini one. So that was my 3 meters of fabric, and I had crumbs left over. I was so delighted. I really wanted to use it all up, and I was really, really pleased. So let me know what you think about my little evening capsule wardrobe. Very cute. So hot off the success of my pouchy pot, I decided to make another one. And here's the medium. So you can see that these stack, and then there's a bigger one as well. So this is my medium pouchy pot in this beautiful fabric that my lovely friend Rita gave me recently, and then it's lined with the fabric that I have on my sewing space station here, but I did a little bit differently. So I put the buttons on the inside and the sewing notions on the bottom, just so you get a little view of all of the fabric, and I think this is fabulous. So it can fit fat quarters if you want to stack up. Look how pretty this looks. I think that just looks lovely. Look at that, display my fat quarters. But it's a really, really cute pattern. So loved making my little pouchy pots. And I think now I'll have to make a large as well to go with my trio. So that was my sewing all this week. I am also working on a collaboration, which is very exciting, but I'm not going to say anything about that. And then this week I'm going to start thinking about another little collaboration that's going to be happening with my very lovely friend Claire from Stitch Hem Sew. That's going to be coming to you in a few weeks. I did a collaboration with her a number of years ago. We made the Charlie Caftan. I'll link those below. Great fun. Claire is so lovely. And yeah, I love my Charlie Caftan. And if the weather keeps up, that actually might be busted out as well this week, which would be marvellous because I haven't been able to wear it for a number of years, so that'd be great. So I've got things going in the background as well. So that was kind of my week. What else do I want to talk to you about? So let's move on to plans, shall we? So as you are watching this, it is hopefully Friday the 2nd of May when you're watching it. I'm recording this on Thursday the 1st of May, so happy Me Made May. So Instagram is now lit up with everybody's fabulous outfits. I love it. May is just an amazing time in the sewing world. If you're not familiar with Me Made May, it was set up now almost decades ago by Zoe. She's over at Sozo blog. I'll link her below as well. It's basically wear your Me Mades in May, however many Me Mades you have. If you've made one t-shirt, wear it with a pair of jeans, wear it with a pair of shorts, wear it with a skirt, wear it under a pair of dungarees, that kind of stuff. It's not a photo challenge, although I do like to take photos every day purely for me to document them. And what I try to do is, now that I do have a mainly me-made wardrobe, is not to repeat anything. So I'm going to wear stuff and move it out, because I am a serial offender of wearing the same outfit for 5 days in a row, which gets very boring for everybody else and for me probably. So it really challenges me to say, right, I've worn that, now try something else. And it forces me to kind of style things differently and pair things differently, which I love as well. I'm going to be doing that over on Instagram, so keep an eye on that. And I will have a highlight reel about all my daily outfits. So today, because the weather is fabulous, this is a Fabric Godmother Fleur dress that I made last year. And it is fabric from Driessenstoffen. It's a viscose linen, and I made it for So Fruity last year because it looks like oranges. I am taking part in So Fruity hopefully this year, so keep an eye out for that in June as well. That's a fabulous challenge. So love this. It's the sleeveless version. So for my B cup, it does have a dart. It's got the lovely bows. It's got the most fabulous pockets, and the only change I made was I put a little waist tie on it just to cinch it in ever so slightly. But I love this, and I have to bring baby's French seams swimming later, and the swimming pool at the best of times is boiling, so I'm hoping that this will keep me slightly cool later on today. So this is what I'm wearing today. Regarding Me Made May, so that's my pledge, to wear Me Made every single day, no repeats. Obviously there will be repeats of jeans and stuff, but we'll accept that. Try something new Me Made every single day. Document on Instagram. I was kind of half toying of doing a little tiny weekly vlog on here to show you what I'm wearing and then explain it in more detail. If you would be interested in that, please let me know. We'll see how it goes. I've never done that before. I've only purely documented on Instagram, but maybe this year we'll bring in YouTube as well, just to give a bit more background, and it'll force me then to move the clothes out and make sure I don't do any repeats, but let me know. The other part of my pledge is that I would like to start repairing stuff. So I am terrible at, if something is ripped or needs fixing, it just kind of gets put away and forgotten about. But no more, and May is always when I try to do this. It's to fix stuff. So I have started one, or I've done one already, and it's been bugging me for years. I made this jumper about 3 years ago, and it is the Wardrobe by Me half zip sweater, but the crew version. So I have made the half zip sweater, but I wanted to make the crew version, and the neckline never ever worked for me. It was always too long, so it kind of stood up. So I unpicked the whole thing, which took ages because it was overlocking and basting. Anyway, unpicked the whole thing, took out about 2.5 inches out of the neckband and put it back on, and then gave a little top stitch along the front here, and it's miles better. You can see how nicely that sits now, and I haven't even pressed this. It looks miles better, so thrilled with that. That's another thing out of the pile. So my thing for this week that I'd like to fix, because I have now gone to my IKEA boxes and taken out all my summer clothes. So wishful thinking, I know, probably next week I'll be sitting here and it'll be snowing, but I've taken out all my summer clothes because I want to do a bit of changeover, get rid of all my fleeces and all my heavy jumpers. And I found probably one of my favorite pairs of trousers. These are the Ardent pants that I made last year in a beautiful linen that I got from Driessenstoffen, and these are the Helen's Closet Ardent pants. I love them. You can see again, that's my wavy top stitching. I made these last summer. Loved them. So they've got a beautiful waistband here, and then they've got a lovely cuff down the bottom. They've got pockets front and back, and I've got a nice little pink label there as well. I wore these all the time last summer. However, I just took them out and ironed them, and there's a couple of little holes. So I need to fix them pronto. Even though they're top stitched down and everything, I'm not quite sure how that happens. So I want to fix them because I'm really, really keen to wear them. Maybe tomorrow. That'll challenge me. So that is another part of my pledge, a little bit of mending. So what have I spoken about? So that's my plans. Regarding sewing plans, now let's have a think about this, because you know when the weather is nice and sunny, you just want to make all the summer things. I have to kind of rein myself back slightly, but I would like to make a Donny shirt, and I think I mentioned this before in this, as my lipstick rolling off the table, make this lovely broderie anglaise into a Donny shirt, which I think will look lovely. So it's beautiful broderie anglaise from Rainbow Fabrics, and I think that'll make a really, really cute Donny shirt. So I'd love to get that made up. I have actually loads of this. I think the Donny shirt only takes about 1 metre, but I'm wondering if it's a bit narrow, so that's why I got a little bit more. So we'll see how we get on with that one. So I'd love to make that. And then if you watched my Paris vlog, and thank you very, very much to everybody who did. I loved putting that together. Thank you for following me along Paris on my lovely day out, which was really, really nice. I'll link that video up here and down below if you're interested. I had the most fabulous day. It was marvellous. And I picked up this beautiful, it's like a Swiss dot dabby. Oh, it's doing something funny to the lighting, isn't it? It's a kind of neon. It's absolutely gorgeous. So this was just in a little pack, so it's not very much. I would say it's only maybe 1/2 metre, as you can see there, but it's quite wide. I think I would be able to squeeze an Ashton top, a Helen's Closet Ashton top out of this. She says, having not actually got the pattern, but I think that a bodice could fit out of that. I would have to wear a cami underneath it. It's ever so slightly sheer, but I think that would look really, really cute for summer. So if you have made the Ashton top, please let me know your thoughts below, if I'd be able to get it out of this tiny bit of fabric. Oh, matches my nails. If I would be able to make it, and if this fabric would be suitable. I think it's a really, really cute top, and I think if I get the fit right on the Ashton top, it would be a very, very useful thing to have my wardrobe to use up odds and sods. So they look beautiful together, don't they? They really do. So they are my plans. I think that's everything that I want to talk to you about today. So thank you very, very much for watching. Hopefully it's not too long today. 22 minutes, we're doing well. Let me know what you're sewing in the comment box below. You know how much I love having the chats. If you have any questions or comments on anything I've spoken about today, please do let me know. I hope you all have a lovely, lovely weekend. I hope you all get some time for some lovely, lovely sewing. I'm hoping to come back to you next week with a long-awaited makes video for January and February. I've finally done it, so hopefully that'll go out to you next week, and then hopefully I'll come out to you with another Friday sews as well next week. So I hope you all have a lovely week. I hope you all get some time for some lovely, lovely sewing. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will talk to you all again very soon in another video. Take care everyone. Bye.